Greetings, Indie Warriors! Are you ready to learn about all of the exciting Indie and AA releases for the week of August 24th through the 30th of 2026? It's time for your Dream Drop. But real quick, one additional indie coming at you before we kick off this massive list. It's from our awesome indie sponsor, FH Games, who are releasing TRUDGE on September 8th for the Steam PC platform. If you're in the mood for something truly different, something unsettling, something that crawls under your skin and keeps you awake at night, TRUDGE is exactly that kind of indie. This slow-burn psychological pixel adventure drops you into a silent city where every day feels the same. Wake up, work, eat, sleep, repeat. There's no dialogue, there's no hand-holding, just you and that creepy feeling that something bad could happen at any moment. TRUDGE features old-school retro pixel graphics, minimalist storytelling, a little pixel PP, and intentionally cryptic design. Progress isn't given, it's earned through patience, observation, and breaking your routine in ways the game never explains. It's symbolic, it's demanding, and it's absolutely not for impatient players. But if you love games that challenge you mentally, emotionally, and philosophically, TRUDGE delivers the good. So head down to the description box below, hit that link, and trudge on over to the Steam page. Add this surreal indie to your wishlist today. Thank you again to our awesome sponsor. Now it's on to the rest of the indies. Let's start things with an old series returning with some new ideas. This one falls more into that AA territory for sure. It's Resonance, A Plague Tale Legacy, coming to PC, PS, and Xbox on the 27th. Serving as a prequel to the original release, you'll control Sophia, who must unravel her dark past, explore the Minotaur Islands in a more action-focused approach that features plenty of exploration, puzzle solving, and even a bit of platforming. Master a tricky parry system and shape your own destiny when the game releases later this week. While we're talking about familiar franchises, why not shout out Aliens Fireteam Elite 2, heading over to PC, PlayStation, and Xbox on the 25th. Battle back swarms of xenomorphs with 3 other friends in this epic battle for survival. These aliens are smart, so be warned, they hide around corners and beyond. Teamwork will make the dream work as you use various class-based abilities and weapons in your endless pursuit for victory. Fans of co-op shooters and this beloved property will want to squad up for sure. That was a little bit stressful, so let's unwind for a bit in Lu's Lagoon, coming to PC and all major consoles on the 27th. This cozy game has plenty of crafting and adventuring as you traverse various islands, gathering resources, helping out destroyed villages, and discovering the reasons behind your uncle's sudden disappearance. Best of all, you get to fly a plane. There's tons of challenges, upgrades, character customization options, and even your very own base to build in this fun-looking indie release coming to us from Tiny Roar. Who doesn't love a classic tactical RPG? The anime art, the political drama, the strategizing. If that's your flavor, then get hyped for BRIGANDINE Abyss, launching its assault on PC and consoles on the 26th. Control up to 6 different factions as you battle back an evil empire. Command soldiers, build bases, and become the supreme ruler of these lands. The game features a full story mode and a mission mode that should keep you playing into the wee hours of the night. Just don't forget to let the dog out to pee. I'll never complain about getting more action-adventure games with Metroidvania elements, so I'm delighted to see Divinum launch onto Steam on the 28th. First off, look at those nice, lovely visuals and animations. That's impressive stuff. Players will have tons of enemies to contend with in a massive world, so be sure to learn various combos and craft powerful builds if you want to stand a chance. Your skills will be put to the test, but there's also tons of equipment, which seems like it will be very fun to experiment with. Grab this one later this week if it speaks to you. If you've been playing video games for as long as I have, then you probably entered your share of dungeons. But there's always room for one more. Shadow Dungeon is bringing that evil energy in a throwback action RPG stuffed with 7 chapters made of 160 different maps. 4 characters are here, various talent trees, and over 300 skills complement this massive bloody affair. There's armor, there's skill points, nasty bosses, and blessing shrines where you can get buffed up. Shadow Dungeon is coming to Steam on the 26th. It's been a strategic kind of week so far. Let's keep trending in that direction with Folk Emerging, launching onto Steam on the 26th. Going back to the Stone Age, this strategy game has an entertaining setting and plenty of characters along with many different ecosystems. Explore to your heart's content, learn how to start a fire, navigate some real old school politics, and have a whole ton of fun in the process. But more importantly than any of that, make sure you always respect Mother Nature. Toss this one onto that ever-growing wish list of yours if you need more strategy in your life. Ready to sweat? Inferno Protocol is a co-op survival horror set inside a massive shifting maze where nothing's as it seems. Corridors twist, entire biomes replace one another, and every step forces you to rely on your memory and whatever scraps you can scavenge. You can enjoy this one solo or with up to 6 friends if you can find them, as you hunt for resources, craft gear, and harvest the creatures that are stalking you. Use their bones, their armor, and whatever else you can of their corpses to survive. Grab this one on Steam on the 28th. Was that a little bit too gruesome for you? Well, fear not. We're gonna get a little bit softer now with Gura, Quest for Bread, a snack-sized 3D action platformer where everyone's favorite shark VTuber, except mine, dives into unknown lands to reunite with a missing bread. Talk about a tonal shift. It's a short 2-hour adventure built around acrobatic platforming, simple combat, and a handful of unique boss fights that keep the pace moving along nicely. You'll jump, you'll spin, and you'll fight through colorful stages when it comes to Steam on the 27th. Next up on the menu, Shrimp Game Overkrill, a wild third-person shooter RPG of sorts set in an underwater world filled with giant kaiju-sized sea monsters and Lovecraftian horrors. You'll pilot a customizable shrimp that's a submersible, hydrodynamic, research-integrated marine platform to you, and choose from 6 elemental classes that fuse into over 24 builds. There's Moon, there's Demon, and there's Bone, to name a few. The game supports solo play or full 6-player co-op as you explore the sunken ruins, solve a few puzzles along the way, and battle massive bosses ranging from volcanic hermit crabs to electric eels. You can also jump into some crazy PvP modes like Shrimp Royale, Shrimp Tag, and Boss Mode. Get ready to pimp and primp that shrimp on the 27th. Sludgineers is a cozy, active, incremental game next that's all about cleaning, mining, and refining pollution as you explore a relaxed countryside. You'll cruise through open areas, collecting sludge, earning cash, and gathering resources that feed into a growing refinery system. As you process materials, you'll unlock new upgrades, expand your equipment, and open additional regions with fresh quests and challenges for you to take on. The loop is pretty simple but satisfying. Clean that environment, refine what you collect, invest in better tools, and build out a more efficient operation. Sludgineers delivers a calm, incremental experience for PC, Linux, and Mac on the 25th. Up next, Iron Blight is a survival horror game set in a cold, rainy Eastern Bloc town that's basically falling apart. You start off trapped in a room while strange creatures claw at the door, and your main goal is to make it through the night and find your wife. The game focuses a lot on atmosphere and tension. There's no HUD here, so you have to pay attention to your character and the world to know your health, your ammo, and just what you're carrying. Every bullet matters, and loud gunfire can bring even more enemies, so you're always deciding whether to fight or get the hell out of there without them hopefully hearing a peep. You'll explore empty streets and tight interiors, pick up tools, solve some puzzles, and manage a limited inventory. It's slow, careful survival horror built around scarcity, caution, and trying to stay alive long enough to reach your love. Nab it for yourself on the 24th. Time to shoot over to Ultra Pool, a colorful little roguelike where you naturally play pool, but every ball has some sort of weird ability that changes how the game works. You build a set of balls, take your shots, and try to pull off the best trick shots you can while surviving 10 rounds. Pocketing balls gives you points, and those points turn into money you spend at the bar to upgrade or buy new balls for your build. Some balls respawn, some explode, some lay eggs, and some are just really weird looking. Once you get the hang of it, you can mix the balls together at the cocktail bar to make even stronger combos. I got to say balls and cock in the same sentence. It's easy to pick up and play. Ultra Pool takes cash from your pocket on the 24th, coming to Steam. Next we have Blood Dungeon, which is a fast 2D platforming auto shooter from the creators of Nidhogg. You run, you jump, you climb through tight levels while huge groups of monsters chase you down. The game's all about staying mobile, dodging those attacks, and using the environment to survive. As you fight, you'll collect blood, gold, and bones, which you use to upgrade your powers and push deeper and deeper. Every run gets a little bit tougher as you would expect, and you're always trying to build a setup that will keep you alive longer. There's a strong focus on movement, quick reaction times, and finding safe routes through each stage. With an epic soundtrack, simple controls, and lots of enemies on screen, Blood Dungeon is all about seeing how long you can last before the dungeon overtakes you. It's on Steam on the 25th. Oh, this one's going to wake you up because it involves coffee, of course. WakuWaku Park is a small escape-style game where our lead character Miki wakes up in a park on a summer morning with no idea how she ended up there. She's surrounded by iced coffee cups, however, so it can't be too bad, except that there's shadowy men in black clothing who are trying to get to her for some reason. That's not creepy at all. The whole goal of the game is pretty simple from what I can gather. Run, keep your stamina up by drinking iced coffee, and avoid getting caught before the timer runs out. The game has 3 short stages, each a few minutes long, and the number of enemies increases as you go. It's mostly about movement, watching your stamina, and finding ways to stay ahead of your pursuers. If you can keep moving and manage your energy, you'll make it through each stage and maybe get Miki home safely. Grab yourself a cold brew and hunker down with this oddball indie on the 28th. A Little Age is next on our list, a quaint and cozy minimalist city builder where you start with one small settlement and slowly expand into a whole network of towns. Each of these settlements has its own little economy, and you only get to manage 3 main resources: food, materials, and gold. You move resources between these settlements at your own pace, and you can pause whenever you wish. As you reveal more of the map, you'll build new towns, support ones that don't have great environments, and keep everything connected through trade. Every world is different thanks to procedural generation, so biomes and resource spots change as you play. Have your own little coming-of-age story on PC when it launches on the 28th. He who felled it, smelled it. That's not how that saying goes. Fell and Sell is a first-person hack-and-slash dungeon crawler of sorts, where you'll also be running your own fantasy shop. Head into dangerous dungeons to battle skeletons and other monsties, grab whatever loot you can carry while you're there, and try to make it out alive. If you die, you lose anything you've gathered, so you're always deciding whether to keep going or to head home with your tail tucked between your legs. Back at your cabin, you can craft weapons and armor, check on quests, and set up your shop with decorations that actually give you combat bonuses for your next run. You also control prices, watch supply and demand, and try to grow your little store into something bigger each day. The loop is simple, but oh so addicting. You can buy it on Steam on the 26th. Time for a combo breaker. Combolands is a teeny-weeny roguelike city builder where you place buildings, stack combos, and try to grow a tiny city in short runs. Each game starts with a fresh procedural map, and you pick 2 guilds that shape how your buildings work. As you place structures, you unlock synergies, trigger combos, and slowly turn a little town into a busy mini-metropolis. There are tons of buildings, heirlooms, upgrades, and counselors that change how each run's going to play, so you're always going to be experimenting with new setups. Runs are pretty quick, usually around a half hour or so according to the Steam page, and the goal is basically to push your strategy as far as you can while climbing through harder ranks. It's simple to learn, easy to drop into, and it drops onto Steam on the 24th. Believe it or not, Old Gamer Joe was a pretty decent poker player back in the day, and we've of course seen many successful indies mess with the poker formula in the last few years. Tridan is another card-based poker roguelite where you'll spin the wheel of fortune and try to gain powerful bonuses while avoiding the negatives. That's gambling after all, and the house always wins. Build up massive synergies and see if the cards fall your way when Tridan gets dealt onto Steam on the 24th. Next, we have an unlikely sequel. It's Aggelos II, going over to PC and all major consoles. In Aggelos II, you rise as a warrior chosen by the gods of light, sworn to defend the kingdom of Lumen as darkness closes in. 2 realms will stretch before you, each filled with hidden paths, ancient puzzles, and enemies that will test your resolve. You'll cross between worlds, clash with epic bosses, and master new abilities that turn you into a force capable of soaring, striking, and surviving against impossible odds. Only you can control both light and shadow. Grab this one for yourself on the 27th. Putting potions on shelves doesn't sound all that thrilling, but neither did power washing houses, and we saw how popular that was. Shelve the Potions is as advertised. You'll toss potions on the shelves. There's over 2,000 different potions to sort through that have all been mucked up by witches' cats. It's a puzzle game of sorts, as you must learn symbols, figure out clues, and get the correct order up there proudly. Don't shelve this one, as it comes to PC on the 24th. Sometimes when I've been up playing games, it can feel like reality has become a bit distorted, or maybe I'm just sleep deprived. It's hard to know. But in Fractured Worlds, the dark fantasy action RPG, reality has broken into pieces, and it's up to you, and other players, to explore the many realms and investigate the beings responsible for this devastating event. With precision-based combat, challenging bosses, and the occasional appearance of other players to help you out, you'll want to make sure you're brushed up on your melee skills before you start tackling these shattered realities. Fractured Worlds launches on the PC and PlayStation on the 26th. It's been a while since we've had a real good-looking cartoon beat-em-up, so hopefully the ridiculous story of Box Night will give us plenty of cardboard fun to look forward to. If you've ever thought you've had a bad day at the office, then maybe you can relate to the plight of our hero, who must don a cardboard helmet, pick up a cardboard sword, and take out the toxic coworkers that have turned into dangerous beasts who only you can take care of. Gooey enemies will take you down, but never fear, your little boxy self will come back just as plucky as ever. Get ready to box it out when this one launches on the PC on the 25th. A blast to the past now, Apidya Special brings back one of those legendary 90s shooters you either played non-stop for yourself or heard older gamers rave about. Well, or you never heard of it at all. That's also very possible. This remake keeps the soul of the original completely intact, with the same vibe, the same intensity, but it's rebuilt with crisp 24-bit pixel art and fresh audio from the legendary Chris Hulsbeck. You can swap between a clean widescreen mode or the classic 4x3 look that feels straight off of a CRT, complete with scan lines and that warm retro glow. The game packs in all of the original worlds, tons of bosses, hidden stages, and even new surprises that fit right into the old gameplay. It's all sharper, smoother, and ready for your modern screen. You can shoot your way through this one on Steam on the 24th. It sounds like I'm swearing at you when I say this next title, Holey Ship. This indie release is one of those chaotic multiplayer experiences where half the fun is seeing what terrible thing's going to happen next. You and up to 3 pals jump into boats that are falling apart nonstop, patching up the holes, swapping out busted parts, hauling tools around, and trying to finish customer requests before the whole thing goes under. It's fast, it's messy, and it gets more ridiculous the longer you play it. The game has 3 different chapters and levels, all with cute 2D characters running around inside a 3D world. You can work together if you want, but honestly half the fun is messing with your friends, pushing them off the boat entirely, or, just giving them a gentle nudge. If you don't have people to play with, you can hop into online lobbies and join random crews. It's simple, loud, and all about keeping the ship alive just long enough to get the job done. Don't abandon ship on this release, it's on Steam on the 25th. This next title gives me Zombies Ate My Neighbors vibes, and looks like a total blast. Ghetto Zombies Graffiti Squad is heading over to PlayStation and Switch consoles with awesome retro visuals, top-down zany action, and yes, plenty of zombies. Use a wild assortment of goofy guns with various heroes that play differently from one another. There's ketchup guns, there's sticky gumballs, and who knows what else. Plus, a nasty zombie leader awaits you at the end of each level. Go it alone or with a partner in this fun-looking callback that releases on the 27th. And last but certainly not least, we have a game that's leaving early access, huzzah! It's Garden of Witches, an adorable roguelike with plenty of combat and epic synergies. Master the pattern of your foes, use various spells, and don't let any witches get in your way. But best of all, you get to host a tea party at the end of it all. Now how sweet is that? But that's it for this week, folks. Which indies will you be nabbing? Let us know in the comments below, and as always, voice to the voiceless.
Thanks so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel to help us continue to be able to bring a voice to the voiceless. Join the over 60,000 indie warriors that have said goodbye to the gaming echo chamber. For even more support, head over to patreon.com/idreamofindiegames, where you can get Discord access, early shows, exclusive content, and more, now with a brand new $2 entry tier. Or check out YouTube memberships for exclusive badges, custom emoji, and other fun perks. Support real people making real things, because here at I Dream of Indie Games, it's always about the games.